there's a big difference between the mind of a wealthy person and the mind of a basic consumer. I'll give you a 2-minute story to portray this. Well, when I was working in the bank, I had a friend. Well, I still have a friend. He happens to be my namesake. So when, of course, when you come into the bank, you don't become a branch manager all of a sudden. So we came into the bank. He came in like 2 months before me, but he came in as an experienced hand from another bank, and I came in as a fresher from university. So we got close and we got talking, and we discovered that, look, we were born even in the same year. Good. So we became even more close, have the same name, we tried buying the same cars and things like that. And every time we sit down, we'll be lamenting about our job, lamenting about our managers, how high-handed they are and everything. And our friendship continued for some years. Fast forward 3 years later, he became a head of department. Not a manager yet. He became a head of department. And I happened to be in his department. And within weeks, I saw a change in his thinking. While we're in the department, before he became the head of department, once it was 5 o'clock, we hated anything we do after 5 will be done out of complaint. You people are keeping us here. We should be going. The bank says we should close by 4 o'clock, blah, blah, blah. When he became the boss of that department, and he knew he had to appear in a Monday meeting to give reports of what he had done with the previous week, all of a sudden, the complaint about 5 o'clock disappeared. He will even get angry at me for trying to leave at 5. Now, this was somebody that a few weeks ago, we would try to sneak out by 5 together. Now he's angry at me. Why? Because there are tasks to be done that has not been completed. There was a mind shift between being a boss, being a leader, and being just somebody who is working. There had to be a mind shift if he had to succeed in his post as a boss. Fast forward some months later, he became a branch manager. And now I can see that same person issuing query, somebody who would lament and shout and curse for being given query, now has to issue query because some people will not respond if there is no query. What you don't measure, people don't do. So he had to put measures, both rewarding and the ones that we strike people. There had to be a mind shift if he had to succeed as a manager. As somebody who wants to grow wealth, you definitely, mandatorily have to have a mind shift, which is why in the fostering program, we lay more emphasis on psychology than strategy. If you come to the fostering program or to SimplyPips, for instance, and you want to easily get confused, go watch all the videos we have on SimplyPips. I can guarantee you'll find like 16 strategies. That's the beginning of confusion. You just need to know you just need to know one. Hold on to that one. Then go work on your mind. An average Nigerian today, if I tell you that put your 100,000 naira somewhere, and at the end of the year, you will have made 79,000 naira, they will hiss at you. An average poor man will hiss at you and take a walk. Why? An average poor man wants to put 100,000 naira and put the whole of his life's problem, school fees, feeding, wife giving birth, grandfather's burial, everything on that 100,000. So if you tell him put 100,000 somewhere and I'll triple it every month, that is where he will put his 100,000. And that's why they call everything scam, because actually people who think that way only attract institutions that are scammers. 79% in a year. When I was in the bank, again, sorry, I keep referring to it. We're talking finance here. When you drop your fixed deposit, there are times towards the end of the year, as we try to pursue targets, the rate for fixed deposit can even grow to 8-10%. Now, fixed deposit is like nothing. If you drop your money in the Nigerian bank, I think the interest rate is like 3% if I'm still current. In some countries like the US, it's basically zero. Maybe in a place like UK, it's not zero. They will tell you 0.1. I don't know the difference between 0.1 and 0. And you have something that can give you 79%. Don't think it is small. Think percentage, not money. Think percentage, not monetary value. If you want to make big money, put big money. But if you get something that can give you 5% per month, you are made. In this industry where we trade, make 5% per month and make it, if you can make 5%, I'm saying this publicly now, if you can show me proof that you can make 5% per month every month, and you've done that for the last 5 months, come, I'll give you one of my 100K FTMO account to trade, and we'll be sharing the profit. I'll give it to you to trade. 5% every month. You don't need to do 200, 20%. You don't need to be interviewed by FTMO. Right? So there has to be a mind shift. I'm spending time here because many people are guilty of this. 5% per month looks very, very small. There was a time about, was it 2-3 years ago? About 2 years ago, I was trying to tie a deal with a prop firm and with a broker. Then I thought it was going to be very easy. We wanted to see if we could start a brokerage firm in Nigeria, get a white paper from one of the brokers in Dubai and all of those. So we went to the brokerage firm of one of the guys who was supposed to help us. And we started talking about trading. And the man mentioned that in his trading firm, in his brokerage firm, there are some people who have sizable amount of money, but they are not using it because they tried trading and they lost. So they just left the money there. It's not in their, they just left it. And because they are brokers, they can't do anything. They only put the money in fixed deposit. Now, fixed deposit is now, the interest is like nothing. So I've pushed my marketers, I've pushed my online marketing campaign. I have deposits, but I'm not making much from them. They make more money when the traders trade. That way you can take money from spread, you can make from commission, you can make from swap. But if the trader is not trading, then they are not making money. So if you use some of the brokers in Nigeria, you discover that recently they brought up a policy that if you leave your money and you don't trade within a certain number of days, they will charge you something. That is because they just want to make money. So when we got talking, we were all bragging about how good we were in trading. The man said, "Look, guys, you guys should stop all of these things." He said, if I find anybody here, if any of you here can generate 5% per month for me, 5% per month, I will introduce you to all my clients to trade for. And he said, it is the poor people that want 20% per month. If you go to a wealthy man and say, "Sir, invest $1 million, I will give you 20% per month," he will tell you, "Go, I'll call you back later," and he will never call you again. You go to a wealthy man and say, "Look, invest $1 million, I'll give you 5% per month." He will think about it, and you most likely get it, even if you can do 3%. All he needs to do is 3% times 12 is 36. So the loan I'm getting from the bank and everything, I pay them like 20. I'm going to make 10%. 10% of that's all they do. It's the poor man that wants to do 50% in a month. Enough of the stories now. 5% per month will give you this. And this approximately 79% in a year. Let's go to the second sheet. So Prof went ahead, created this second sheet. And he said, if you do 79% interest per year, now let's do this compounding. You are compounding, remember. Let's do this over a 20-year period. Remember I told you I used to come here to tweak because I don't think at my age I want to wait for 20 years, right? So I have to do something to shorten this period. And we'll discuss it. So if you do 79% every year for 20 years, the first year, of course, you made 79%. The second year, you're trying to make just 5% every month, just 5% every month. But you're able to make it, and that sums up like 79% on an average in a year. You would have grown your money after 10 years to 33 million. And you would have grown your money after 20 years to 11 billion. 11 billion, not 11 million, ladies and gentlemen. And what are you focusing on? Process. The process is what you are focusing on, not the money. You are focusing on the process. There's an Excel sheet I usually use around this time to explain some things. If a friend of mine told me that if I ask you to come to VI and I'll give you 1 million naira now, or I ask you to come to VI and I'll give you I'll give you 10 naira and I'll double that money every other day for 1 year. Which would you prefer? And when I said 1 million, he laughed and he took me to Excel and he put 10 and doubled it every other day, right? So if this is 10, this is going to be 20 times 2, and the next is going to be 40, like that. And the guy continued. And in a year already, the balance was far more than 1 million, right? So an average person will want instant gratification. It's like reading some of the books from Warren or some other people, and they throw a teaser at you. Like, if I ask you, which would you want? Would you want $50 million or 5% of so company? Most people will go for $50 million. The guys who think like investors will go for 5% of a particular company. Because if the company is a growing concern, 5% will dust 50 million some years from now. It's like saying you own 5% of Alibaba or Microsoft or Facebook. You might have been worth nothing. Nobody knew Alibaba some 10 years back. Nobody knew Facebook some 10 years back. And if they did 10 years back, it was just one small company there, right? So grow 79%. This is what it will amount to. The question is, what will you be doing in the first 3 years when the money is like nothing, right? Notice, as at the 5th year, you have worked for 365 days times 5. It looks like you are still stupid. It will be looking like you are still stupid. In fact, at the 8th year, you only have done 10 million. Some guys working some other scheme would have done this over and over and over every year, 10 million. But the funny thing is that they will have that declining stuff. You would have been able to develop the habits, the attitude, the knowledge of how to generate 5% monthly. You would have, by the time you are 10 years, they can invite you to any organization, CNN, Arise TV, anybody can interview you and be explaining how to make 5%. You'll be like an authority. As you grow older, right, you become even much better. Now, this is a balance of 100,000. So if you are not 30, if you are not 35, if you are older than those age brackets, you might not want to look at 20 years. You might want to reduce the number of years. And that may mean you might have to add like 1 0 to this thing, right? So that in 10 years' time, you would have landed here. You will not be the richest man in your village, right? But you sure will be able to do many things, right? And if you can increase this even further, good for you, right? If you can increase it even further, good for you if you are older. Any other form of magic, you have to do a lot of work for it. 5%, I believe, in our industry is not something that you need to cut your neck to achieve, right? Prof went ahead to discuss withdrawal if you want to be withdrawing from this, but I will not spend the time to do this. If you want to be withdrawing, I won't spend that time. I'm assuming everybody here will be thinking of something that you will not withdraw. Is an assumption, and it can be wrong. Right. So the first one we'll be talking about is basically trading Forex. When you trade Forex with leverage, of course, you have the opportunity to make money. Now, I see a lot of people watching, I don't want to mention some channels. One of them just posted recently, my strategy works, and I saw it just stagger, layer in so several trades, and say I almost doubled my account. If you trade that way, you will blow more accounts than you double. You will blow more accounts than you double. Human beings are deceptive, and I don't know if there's any industry that has so many deceptive people like Forex, or like trading, and maybe politics. I don't know, but everywhere they are deceptive people. People don't show you they are losing trades. You can't have a $1,000 account, and I look at your MT4, I'm seeing 25 trades on a $1,000 account, and you say I just almost doubled my account. The day the things will go against you, would you come and create a post about it? Except you have a structured way of layering in. And when you have a structured way of layering in, you know from experience that once the market reverses, as fast as those profits are being made, they will also disappear very, very fast. Because you have 10 standard laws giving you profit. If 10 standard law reverses 10 pips, the money is going to drop 10 times faster. Right? And these are the things that most young people go to watch. Most people feel like, look, I want to kill my head. I must do this. It is doable, I agree. But please, learn how to crawl before you start running. If you cannot consistently make 1% per week, if you cannot consistently generate 1% per week, when the person is passing, do twale for the person. Just do twale for that person. Sorry, if you're not in Nigeria, you don't understand twale. 1% per week, do twale for that person. And it's not because it is very difficult. It's because we as traders are the difficult ones. We want to know why price did this and why price arrived there. And you don't need to know whether there's a fair value gap or a Galu fair gap, Galu fair value, or whatever it is. Have your system, put it in place. If you make money today, happy about it. If you don't make money, go do something else. So FX is one way. Why? Because they give us leverage. They give us leverage. If if you are to trade Forex and you go to SimplyPips to do your basic introduction, you know that if you want to trade one standard lot, you should have a minimum of $100,000. Many people on this call today don't have $100,000. But sometimes you trade one standard lot. Why? Leverage. You put in 1,000 and you get a broker that gives you 1:500. So if you multiply this by 500, it simply has given you access to 500,000. On paper, you could use 5 standard lots, or at least 1 standard lot. So you are trading like you have 500,000, even though what you have is just 1,000. Leverage, right? It has its pro and con. For Forex traders, if you are going to do this, you should work towards becoming a prop trader. I will suggest prop trading as against trading for other people, right? For beginners, if you trade with my Forex fund, FTMO, and there are several, Blue Edge say they have one now. Everybody is claiming to have one. And we don't know how long prop trading will last. They weren't there some years back, but they are here now. You can trade for them. If you look for cheap ones like my Forex fund and some other ones, and you start with the $10,000 account. If you blow that account, you just stay at one corner of your bed, hug your pillow, and wet it with tears if you so wish. If you go collect money from your relations, the people in your mosque, the people in your church, your neighbors, your classmates, and you blow their accounts, that memory will not wipe off their mind forever. Don't trade other people's accounts until you have mastered your emotion. There's a different emotion in trading other people's accounts and trading your own. Two different, far apart in terms of emotion. So if you are doing FX, aim at trading for a prop firm. And I've done the math here for us before. If you have a $1,000 account and you make 10% in a month, you only have made $100. $100 will not do many things for many people. If you use this $1,000 and you go buy a 50K FTMO account, and let's say you're able to make 10% in a month, that will be 5,000. They will give you 70%, which is 3.5, and they will hold 30%. But the point is that you have 3.5, right? 3.5 already is bigger than your initial capital. So what should you be aiming at here is competence, right? Why you need to attend our fostering program. Even if you won't start trading for a prop firm immediately, you will know the difference between the truth and the lies in the industry, and you focus yourself on pursuing what is the truth and becoming better at it. The second way is crypto trading. Crypto. Now, with crypto, there are several ways you can make money here. Several ways you can make money. You can buy and hold, which they call hodl. You can trade in and out, like we do in Forex, futures. You can look for new projects that are coming in and buy them while they are still very little and hope for them to increase, right? Crypto is very volatile. It can make you a millionaire, and it can remove all the zeros in 1 million and leave you with only 1 0. It can do that, right? It's very, very volatile. But anybody not willing to make money should never be in, should anybody not willing to lose money should not be willing to make money. So again, you come to CoinMarketCap. Here you can find cryptocurrencies. At a point this year, this particular currency, Bitcoin, dropped to like 29,000. Some people got in around 30, and then it hit over 50, about 52 or so last week, right? Cardona hit $3, and it was just $1 some months ago. I keep talking about BNB because I bought it at $45 and later on sold at over $600. Solana is the recent, gem for everybody. It was just like $15 some weeks back, and here it is. It has grown over 1,000%. So, and there are many of them. Just like with anything that has to do, look at QNT. It did 103% in 7 days, and just today it has done 20%, right? But there are so many. There are over 11,814 coins and tokens on CoinMarketCap. Now, there are many that are not on CoinMarketCap. They will be in different decentralized exchanges across the world. But don't be fooled. This is a way of making money online. You only need to apply yourself to some knowledge. You need to apply yourself to some. You need to learn some things, right? You need to know some things to be able to make money here. But yes, this is a place where I'm looking for top gainers and losers. It's a place where you can make money and lose money. So look at this token, for example, now has dropped by 98%, and this particular one grew by 727%. So anytime I come here and I see the gainers are looking far more better than the losers, you know that there are opportunities in the market to make money in the market. So that's one way you can make money. And you can make money faster in crypto than in Forex, but you can also lose money faster in crypto than in Forex. You need to have that at the back of your mind, right? So there is a Forex class. I think I held a Forex class sometime, crypto class sometime ago. I might initiate another one in some few weeks. If we have up to 10 people indicating interest, we might look at another one and how you could basically make money off crypto. If you are hodling, you only make money when price goes up. If you are trading futures, you make money when price goes up and when price comes down, the way we do in Forex. When price is going up, you make money. When price is coming down, you also make money. But before I leave crypto tokens, I will want to state something here. You'll notice we keep shouting in the group for people not to buy the top and always wait. As a businessman looking at 79%, right? You are looking at 79% in a year. I don't actually focus on this 5% per month. There are some months that will be bad. Some months you have to wait all through the month. For instance, now I have an inclination that I might have to wait till the end of this month before I go into crypto again. I'm feeling like this month is really very bad for crypto in the last 10 years. So it might repeat itself. That herd mentality might make it repeat itself. So I'm willing to wait to see 2 or 3 more legs of dips. And then when we start settling down around the lows, you come in. So it's not the monthly per se. It is what you are able to do at the end of a year. And sometimes you might just need to wait. And I'll show you something here, why it makes sense to wait. In one of the classes we used to hold, Prof mentioned something like that. I'll just give a pictorial, something that can make it sink in so we all see. All right, so I'll pick one of the popular tokens, which we all know, the BTC, right? So I'm going to pick Bitcoin right now. and I want you to see something. Let me use USD. So many markups here. All right. So I want you to see something here. Why you need knowledge is not just that everybody is buying Bitcoin, you jump into buy. When I'm trading Bitcoin, I rarely even look at head and shoulders. I just look at my indicators. If they turn green, I buy. If they turn red, I get out from there. So if you see us dropping charts talking about what's happening in El Salvador, it's just because human beings like knowledge, right? So, but what will happen will happen. If I come here and I pick this price range, I'm going to pick this horizontal line, right? So if price goes from here to this point, it has grown by 18%, right? It has grown by, in fact, let me drag it to this. Let's drag it to the drop that happened here, right? Bitcoin dropped by 23%. Let's take it to the downside. You see, if you bought at the top here, if you're one of those people who FOMO in and you bought at the top and your investment dropped by 18.9%, for you to gain back your complete money from this level, Bitcoin has to grow by 23%. It has to grow by 23% for you to recover your money. If you bought at that red line and price dropped by 18.9, let's say 20%, you need it to grow 23% for you to recover your money. You don't buy the tops. You wait for the dips to buy. If Bitcoin drops by 50%, if Bitcoin drops by 50%, let's see how many percent you will need it to go up by before you make money. You need it to grow by 100% before you make back your money. If you have $1,000 Bitcoin and it dropped by 50% and the value of Bitcoin is now 500, it needs to grow 100% back for you to get back your initial 1,000. So if your indicator tells you get out from Bitcoin now is dipping, take out your money. Sometimes you will be wrong. When you get out, Bitcoin will still grow 10%. And something will tell you I should have waited and catch that 10%. You can never catch the top. You don't know the top. Get out. The money you have in USDT is yours. I'd rather lose a 10% growth. After I mentioned in SimplyPips Telegram group that I've cashed out of all my crypto tokens, and the ones I have left, I just hedged. I mentioned it. And for like 5 days after I mentioned that, the prices of cryptos were still jumping. And somehow inside of my mind, I was like, this guy, hope no be Obasabi won't kill you. So why did you get out? All of a sudden, I woke up one morning and everything had tumbled. Now, why am I not faced by that? The 10% that I lost, or rather that I left on the table, is not as much as what I would have lost if I remained. You see that money that I've cashed out now, that is by the side. When this thing, I believe Bitcoin is still going to drop more. I believe it's going to drop more. I was having my entry at 37. Now I think I've gone down a little to around 30. So between 30 to 29, I will put like 5 buy limits. I'll put like 5 buy limits waiting for them to come to pick me between 30 and 29. I sense they may come down there. Now that is my sense. But when I want to trade, I don't use my sense. Once my indicator tells me buy, I buy, whether my sense is saying something else or not, right? But if I'm to use my sense for this class, for this discussion, that's how I'll be layering. Now, imagine you took out your $10,000 on that top and you came down here. You missed 10%, guys. You missed that 10% growth that happened. Everybody was shouting, oh, it's still going up, and they made 10%. Now, after making 10%, the thing now dropped 35%. You had made more money because you got out while it was here. You didn't make the 10%, but you also did not experience the 35. That 10,000 that you have harvested, you come down here now and buy. By the guys that didn't sell, by the time price is getting back to them, they are now happy that they've recovered their money. You have made 2 times your 10,000. You are now $20,000 richer, while they are just coming back to their 10,000. They didn't lose money, quite all right, but they also did not make money. But you have made. Why? You got out at some point. You took some profits, right? So in the next crypto class, we'll be discussing the science of taking out your money and dollar cost averaging. Again, the idea here is that you can make more than 5% per month here, or put in proper perspective, you can do more than 79% per annum trading crypto. And you can, I showed you guys live proof of that. When you come here, you can basically see some tokens, only one. And some people feel like you have to own everything. You have to own Solana, you have to own everything. You have to be, you should be able to know their names. You define them like you are defining the lifestyle and all the goals that Messi and Ronaldo have played. Nope. You only need 2 or 3, 4, 5 to do that 79% in a year. If you held Algo did over 79%, right? In the last 7 days, it's just dropping now. It did over 79%. So if you held only Algo, in the last 7 days, you could have done your 1-year target. Your 1-year target is 79. You could have done, and once you relax, you reduce your risk, right? So when I was mentioning that if you are older, you could do something. You could, let's say if you are older, you could still have your 1 million, right? You could still have your 1 million there. But now look for more ways, and you can increase this to now like 100%, right? You can increase this now to 100%. And that means in 5 years, in 10 years' time, you have 1 billion already, right? Compounding. If you are older, and difference between 100% and 79 is much. But with certain schemes, you can get there. You can get there, basically. But it needs knowledge. Right, let's move on to the next one. So we've talked about FX and why you should be prop trading. I forgot to mention that if you have a 100,000 naira, for example, now, or $100,000 as the case, 100,000 naira, and you go into prop trading, in 90 days or 6 months, you could have done your 79% over and over. If you are profitable, you would have done your 79% over and over, right? The next one I want to discuss is stocks, right? Is stocks. So Prof is presently doing a class on stocks. And if you're not in that class, I will talk to him after this class to see if he can do another one, this time for the SimplyPips, and we'll see if we can get a discount, right? And I will beg of you, you see, when you look at what we charge in our fostering program, I feel sometimes it's a waste of time. I put in so much energy. I'm answering questions. I'm almost online 24/7, right? For people who paid $150 1 year ago. 1 year ago. Who does that? Who does that actually? Right? So the cost we ask when we ask people to pay for a program, it's not because, I mean, you just have to pay for something, guys. You need to pay for something. You just need to pay for something. Everything can be free. Prof has some portfolios, and for those of you who don't know, Prof trades for a living, right? Yeah, he has some basket of investment. People can put in money, and he gives them return. He's been profitable at that for months, right? And like I told you, if you have a trader that can give you 1%, maybe I should even rephrase. If you have a trader who owns a $10,000 account and can give you a return of $1 per week, prostrate and greet the person. If you are older, call the person a. If the person can add $1 on top of 10,000 every week, respect that person, right? So he has some stock portfolio that has done over 200%. 200%, right? So, and stock is passive. It's way more passive than Forex, right? Way more passive than Forex. For those of you who are attending the present class, I believe you are getting some. If it was Prof that was going to take my discussion today, you see some slides and everything. I'm not that organized, right? So I'm sure you'd have seen some slides, some good stuff happening there, right? So we'll see if we can have one again, and hopefully you guys will join that particular one. But let's come to stocks and let's look at some things. Let's look at popular stocks. Let's look at things like let me just come here. I think I have some I watch on the site. All right. So let's look at Tesla, for instance. Let's look at Tesla, and I'm going to go to the daily here so we can see, right? So you can see growth that happened on some of these. Apple, you can see growth that are happening. NAS 100, SPX 500, these are indexes. Amazon, right? Microsoft. I want you to see how they are growing, right? Netflix. I want to see growth. Coke. I want to see growth. Now, meanwhile, imagine you bought Coca-Cola. Imagine you bought Coca-Cola, and you don't need to have plenty money, you just need to have some money. Prof has a way you can even trade this on leverage, right? Leverage. So imagine you bought Coca-Cola around May this year at $282, and at some point in time it got to $461, almost double your investment, and presently it is sitting at around $390 something. There are lots of calculation that can come in here as to why you can do your 79% in a year inside this place. If you leverage and you move from this point to this point, you would have grown your money by 63%. This is just holding the shares, just holding it. That is, I just bought one share in April, and by the time it is June, I've made 63%. We're talking about 79% in a year. You have done 63%. Now imagine if you leverage times 2, that'll be 126. Imagine if you leverage times 10, that's 600 and something. Of course, you pay a lot of charges and blah, 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 but that's Prof area. And again, I'll talk with him and see how I can do it almost side by side the fostering program. Usually it's not going to be a long thing. And even if we can't do a full class, we might just do an abridged one, but you will pay for it. Ladies and gentlemen, you will pay. We can't waste his time. Like we do, we drop videos on YouTube. Just go and click like. People will not go. And we'll do video. Just wait and see. You'll see in the group. Some people heard about this meeting. We dropped it like 3 days ago. Some people come and be asking for recording. So people have taken us for granted. Guys, come and join webinar. Do anything you want to do. Just drop the recording for us. We don't have your time. All right, so we'll reduce the recording we'll be doing. And any recording you see on YouTube will most likely just be repetition of some of the strategies, maybe trying to fine-tune it and fine-tune it. We'll spend more time with people who are willing to pay for some of these services, or at least appreciate what we do. Most people you see having YouTube, they just go there showing flashy lifestyle, trying to induce you. We tell you, we don't live by the beach. I don't own a Tesla. All my life, I've never bought a Benz. I drive Toyota, Honda. I think, okay, I've not driven Mazda before. I don't own any of those things, so right. So don't think I'm not by one beach with one lady in bikini and I'm jumping inside water and pressing buy and sell at the same time. I don't have that. So we just need to understand this is real life. If I have that kind of money, I have children, I will invest it for them and try and see how I can increase this my Excel sheet. That is what I'll be doing. I'll not go around showing you flashy houses. That's not what I'll go around doing with the money I make in Forex. Right? By the way, if you stayed in Forex long enough, you will know that Forex money can go as easily as it comes. It can go as easily as it comes. So when you make money from Forex, you invest it in other physical assets, some other physical businesses, and grow, right? So ladies and gentlemen, let's stop there. But you pay. That's just the essence of everything I'm saying here for this one. Okay, so let's move on. Remember what we're talking about. So when we ask that question in the group, I want a resounding answer. When we say how many percent do you need in a year, somebody should form an acronym for that thing. Maybe how HM something something. Just say 79. 79 is the answer, right? And we know we can do more than 79. If you use the prop firm, you can do more than 79. If you do crypto, you can do more than 79, and you don't need to know so many things. Only Dogecoin, only something. We give you that, right? So that you not be pushing your energy everywhere, fighting things that do not exist. The next one I want to discuss is binary. Binary option is another form of trading, right? Binary option is another form of trading. Let me see if I can find a demo account here. So there are different brokers, right? This is one pocket option. I have some other ones with Vide and like that. So, but this is pocket option. And in binary, you basically just say buy or sell. So I and Prof met yesterday. We're still working on something. But yeah, we have some systems that basically can give 3-5% per day. And when I say per day, I'm saying it with letting you know that just the way you made 3% per day. When I say 3 to 5% per day, it means you can also, either it's plus or minus, you can make or you can lose 3.3 to 5% per day. But if you have a very high win rate, and then it just simply means you make more money. Now in Forex, when we trade, we make money off of the number of pips. So let's say you enter for a buy here in Forex. You are saying that I have a premonition that price is going to go up, right? But you'll be paid for the distance moved, which we call pips. So if the distance moved is 10 and you traded one standard lot, which is another 10, you'll be making $100, right? If the distance moved is 20, then you make 200. You were right in the direction, but you only be paid for the distance moved in Forex. In binary, you are not paid for the distance moved. You are paid for knowing the direction it will go. So if this is 0.0 and you say, I think price will go up. If price goes up by 0.00001, which for GBP USD translates to 1 pipette. Pip starting from the 4th digit. 1 pipette. You are correct. You make money. And in binary, it's much more easier to calculate your risk. before you take a trade, you will say how much you want to risk. So if you are risking $100, for instance, because it is binary, you have only two outcomes. You either win or you lose. It's binary. If you win, if you lose, you've lost $100. If you win, you get what they call a payout. So the risk reward ratio in binary is not like Forex. That in Forex you say do 1:2, 1:3. You don't do that. In binary, I'm going to show you something here. If I come here now and I go to currencies, so here these are the payouts. Presently is weekend, so the market is not on. If you have a live account, you could still trade and make money, but it is OTC. That is all these things are over-the-counter prices, right? They are not gotten from any liquidity provider. It is the broker pocket option that is giving you these figures. So they are over the counter. They have something that simulates price. It's over the counter. At a point in time, when I saw this over the counter something, I was very happy. I said, okay, so if I'm in a, if I bought gold, I can just come here and check whether gold will gap up. I tried it that day. Well, it didn't gap nothing. So it's over the counter. They are just making, they have their own in-house stuff that develops price. So you can still make money off them over the weekend, but it's better I trade during the week. So here we have this. I could decide to go to currencies and pick a pair like Eureka's pair now, Euro GBP. So let's pick Euro GBP. This is Euro GBP, right? I could come here and select that in 1 minute. I want to use 1 minute. I want to use 1 minute. I want to say that in 1 minute, I'm assuming that price is going to go down. In 1 minute, I'll just click on sell, right, which is put. So it has taken me in. Now look to the side here. You notice I staked $100 and the payout is 92. So if I'm right, I'll get extra $92. If I'm wrong, I've lost my $100. All I need price to do is for price to close below my entry. I need price to close below my entry in 1 minute. Presently, price is above my entry. If price closes below my entry, I would have made $92. I would have made $92, right? So if I have a system that gives me a 70% payout, so in 12 minutes, let's wait for this to round up. In 12 minutes or in 8 seconds, I will either be right or wrong. 2, 1, boom. What happened? I just earned $192. So I was right, price came below. I just earned extra $92 to that account, right? That is how simple, well, sorry, let me not start talking like marketers. That is how it is with binary, right? That's how it is with binary. So you could trade 1 minute. There are some brokers that will allow you to trade less than 1 minute, right? Some allow you to trade in seconds. So this is 15 seconds. Let's try that. Let's say that in 15 seconds, we assume that price is going to go up in 15 seconds. Let's click buy. We did sell before, so let's click buy now. Price is going to be higher in 15 seconds. 15 seconds, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boom, price was higher in 15 seconds. Again, we've earned another $92, right? So right in front of you now, I've staked $100 twice and I've won $92 twice. So that means I've made 180. I've done $180, right? So that is how this is. Your ability to say whether price is going to go up or down, and the time. You can say, okay, I don't want to use 15 minutes. I want to be trading in, I want to trade on 5 minutes time frame. So you go to your chart and you look for a 5 minutes time frame. You look for 5 minutes time frame, right? And it's okay, I'm going to trade the AQZ candlestick patterns in 5 minutes. I just got an inside bar here now. No, I got a bearish engulfing. Price came back to the bearish engulfing. I'm assuming that price is going to drop in another 10 minutes, in another blah, 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 right? you could design your strategy. It's not as simple as I've just said it. These brokers know that most people coming to trade are novice, right? That's why if you almost any video you open, somebody will tell you, "Hi there, I make money using something options, something option." As if they say, "Let me tell you how to just press this, bam, 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 money." Well, I just showed you an example of how they do it, and actually it's real, but it's not as easy as that. If you don't want to, anybody trading without a strategy is gambling. If you don't have set of rules you follow, which is what we call strategy, then you're a professional gambler, right? To be profitable in Forex, in crypto, in stocks, in binary options, which some people call high frequency FX, you must have a trading system, right? And we're working towards developing one with a pretty high win rate. When it is out and ready, we will give it to the public. But again, I'm saying it here, at a fee. The fee will not be as big as what we have some people asking you to pay for, but it's going to be at a fee, right? So yesterday I showed some of my team how many trades. Ureka, anybody there? Can you check the chat? How many trades did I say I took? I think I took about 15 trades and I won, is it 11 or something? I later on took some, right? So you could do that. So I was trying to discuss payout. Yeah, what did you say?
You want 12.
Okay, I want 12, fine. All right, so let's look at it. This is what we're trying to say here. If you have, let's say, a $200 account, I decide to stake to risk 5% every time, right? So if you risk 5% and you have a system that gives you a payout of 70%, right? Let's use Excel so it makes it smoother. So you are risking 5% of your account. You have a system that gives you a 70% payout, which for me is small. I usually look for 80, 75, not less than 75. So this will give you this times this, right? So if you stake, let's even use $5. All right, if you 5%, if you stake 5% of your account, you're going to make 3.5% if you win, and you lose 5% if you lose. Let's make it 3%. You reach 3% of your account. If you win, you make 2.1%. If you lose 3%. If you do this 3 times, if you win 3 times back to back, you would have done 6.3% of your account for that day. You go and rest. This is 6.3% in one day. And we are talking in our Excel, we're talking about 5% in a month. We're talking about 5% in a month. You've done 6.3% in a day. Caveat, you won all the three trades. Let's look at where you won only 2 trades, right? You won 2 trades, you would have done 4.3%, and then you lost the third trade. So your outcome will be this minus this. So you would have gone home with 1.2% that day. So if your strategy is, I'm not going to trade more than 3 times, you can make or lose money depending on the number of times you win. If you lost 3 times, you'd have lost 6%. If you won once, you'd have won 2.1, you'll be down 3.9%, right? But if you have a strategy that has a high win rate, you could basically do this, right? You could basically do this, and you will most likely, you have a high probability of closing more than 15% in a month, which is greater than your 5% per month, guys. Greater than 5% per month, right? I'll give you my own game plan on how we should do this. I'll give you the game plan on how you should do this. Right, so, and I think Prof shared a video with us how to use prop firm to move from your, 9 to 5 job to being self-employed. So the next thing you can do online to make some steady form of income is look for stable MLM companies. MLM has a very bad name in virtually every world, every country, because it is pushed mainly by marketers who sometimes might not care about the emotions of people they introduce, so long they make money. Unfortunately, you would have done the same if you're in their shoes. They are marketers. They are paid to market. So even if you have 1,000 shoes in your wardrobe, they will still market another one and tell you it's better than 1,000. It is your own duty to do due diligence. And again, the rule is this: never invest money you cannot afford to lose. So even those of us trading CFDs, you go to the broker's website, they'll mention it, right? You're trading CFDs and Forex, all of these things fall under contract for difference, right? So they will tell you that only stake money you are willing to lose. When you are coming to this investment here, stake money you are willing to lose. But you know that caveat is strange somehow. I'm willing to lose doesn't mean I want to lose it. So you should do due diligence in deciding where to put your money. But you should know at the back of your mind that if I'm going to make 5% every month for a 79%, there's some months that something may happen to the fund here, right? So if you look at crypto, for example, now, some people bought Bitcoin and it has dropped. It has not come back to the highest peak, we'll call it all-time high. It hasn't come back to the all-time high. But like I tell people, if you buy so far, anything can happen. We can have a superstorm somewhere and the world begin to go haywire. We can have another virus apart from corona, like the ones we see in films that turn people to zombie and the world will go haywire. Nobody knows. But as it is now, in the last 11, 10 years, nobody who bought Bitcoin and held it have lost money. If you buy Bitcoin and you hold it, you make money. Even if you bought it when it was here, and presently it is here. If you hold it long enough, it will create a new leg up. So if you bought Bitcoin when it was here, and you're planning to make 5% per month, and it has dropped in the last 4 months and hasn't come back, you see, your 5% has been affected. But if you hold it long enough, the tendency may come up and even give you your 79%. It's a tendency, but it's a risk that you bought. Again, you have to take a risk. But the point is that you're even doing something. You are not one of those guys who just go to religious place of worship and you're shouting and you're not doing anything about it. You've got to do something about it. You've got to do something about it. So if you bought Bitcoin, you are willing to take the dip. You are willing to take the loss. Even if you put a stop loss, the stop loss is, especially if you enter at the top and you put a stop loss, it's not that you are putting a trailing stop. You put a stop loss. You are saying that I've invested $100. I'm willing to lose 20 to make it 80. Because in crypto, you cannot be putting stop loss of 2%, 3% to wipe you off instantly. Average stop loss is like 10%, right? I will have 20% stop loss in some of my holdings. You need to give it room to breathe. It's very volatile. So you lose 20%, you're back to 80. Things like this happen that can skew your 5%. But if you are able to share your portfolio such that, okay, as one is dropping, the other one is increasing, then you have a tendency that you might run flat or small loss or very huge profits. All you are targeting is 79% at the end of the year. And I don't believe that if you are serious about it and you are deliberate about it, that we can't do 79% in a year. I don't believe so. that we're serious about and we're deliberate, right? The last class, crypto crash course, I gave them an indicator. Many people did not look at it. I don't know why, but that indicator made us know. It told us to start selling before cryptocurrency dipped. If, including myself, I didn't sell. If I had taken, all I did was that I just closed out. I didn't go to futures to sell. If I had sold via futures, I would have done maybe 400% of my account in that dip, right? So that is that. You must be willing to accept some losses at some point in time, right? So when we come to MLM, most people have bad image about MLM because they've incurred some losses in the time past. But that doesn't mean that MLM, as it were, is a bad thing. In fact, in the industry where I worked before, marketers earn more. And later on, I got to discover that in every industry, marketers earn more. Go to pharmaceuticals, marketers earn more. Automobile, marketers earn more. Real estate, marketers earn more. Banking, marketers earn more. IT, marketers earn more. Marketers always earn, right? So if you have a cloud, you have a following, you should look at MLM. But you should do what we call due diligence when looking for your MLM. And you shouldn't tell people lies. Let them know they have the tendency to lose money. Binary options is not in any way related to volatility index. Yep. It's not related to volatility. I categorize volatility in the same form as FX, just normal trading. Right? So MLM businesses, look for MLM businesses that have something to offer, not those where Ade brings Joseph give Ade some percentage, Joseph brings Philip brings something like that. That one is a pyramid scheme like MMM, right? There are some that are still like pyramid scheme and they try to hide it by all means by claiming they do something else. Again, sometimes even if you do your due diligence, you might not notice until you've gone in and there's nothing you can do, right? This is life. People who bought planes or enter a vehicle that's involved in an accident and they lose their life. If they had known that they will lose their life, they won't board, right? Nobody is that stupid. Well, majority of people are not that stupid. So, but you have to do what you call your due diligence. Right? Do your due diligence. Ask questions. Dig deep. Once you are convinced, go in. Presently, I'm involved in 2 MLM companies. One of them is called the Rich Vision Cooperative, right? And I happen to be the secretary of that organization. I happen to be the general secretary of the organization. It's an online cooperative. Online cooperative. You drop between 5K. There's 5K, there is 10K, there's 25K, and there is 50K. It's like you are saving. You save this money every month. It's like when you are doing a job contribution or adache, you save this money every month. You save this sum, right? But when you save, you just know that 80% of your savings is what is actually going to be credited to you. So if you save 5K, what you're going to see in your savings account, your savings wallet is 4K. The remaining 1K will be distributed for MLM purposes, right? So at the end of the year, you would have saved 4K times 12. But what is the advantage? I'm going to do another webinar strictly for this and Hyperfund later on within the week. It's going to be within the week in the night, maybe Wednesday night or something. And I'll ask you all to join. I will explain in details why I do this and what I see. So when this fund is splitted, you splitted your upline, some other people. It's like those of you that are Yoruba people, you know what they call Alajo, this Alajo woman. They will go to somebody's shop, give them some card, and the person will make certain payments. They will say, okay, the first one belongs to the Alajo, the remaining ones belong to the person that is contributing. Alajo is practically a thrift collector, for those of us who don't understand that dialect, thrift collector. So this works in the similitude of that, right? Now, if you are contributing constantly, after 6 months of constant contribution, without fail, you can actually ask for a loan, and the loan is going to be interest-free. So you see, the 20% or the 10%, the 20% that you seem to have lost, you're going to get it back because you will get ×2 of whatever you've saved as your loan, and it's going to be interest-free. You just pay back, in over 6 to 11 months, depending on how much you collect. Of course, you need to bring 2 guarantors who have to be members of the cooperative, whose funds added to yours can cover for what you are requesting for. So you get people collecting 200,000, whatever. So imagine you were here, and I introduced us to this thing when we started in SimplyPips. Many people did not join. Imagine you were here, and now you've been able to take some time. You've been able to generate 3-4 months of constant profitability, and you now want to go for a prop firm, but you don't have an account, you don't have money. This is where this comes in. You take an interest-free loan from here and go to your prop firm. Of course, from your first payment, you can even pay back all the loan, and now everything belongs to you, right? You heard of this Excel sheet from Prof, and you say, okay, it's 100,000. And you've been saving 25, 10K for some months, and you've been able to save 60K. You need 100,000 to start one investment. This is where you come and collect it interest-free. We don't lose money here because any money we are giving you, somebody has guaranteed. If you don't pay, your guarantors pay. The cooperative does not lose money. It is risk-free per se, right? For those who are marketers, who tell people about them, you make some percentage out of this 20%. You'll be making some. For instance, for me, since I joined, apart from the very first month where I used my own money to pay, every other month, my commissions have been paying my monthly contributions. So it's on autopilot. Like as I told some of you now, some of you decide to come and join, right? It's autopilot. Autopilot. So I'm making some money on autopilot, right? But why did I decide to go there? The funds are relatively safe, and I'm one of the guys there, right? So the funds are relatively safe, except if something happens very, very bad. That is when things can go wrong. So this is the Rich Vision Digital Cooperative Alliance, right? For those of you who know how I look like, this is it. That's me there, right? So we just contribute on monthly basis. You have 2 options. Is either you want to contribute alone and not tell anybody. That way you can only you can only have access to loan 2 times what you've saved, the way they do in a normal office cooperative. But if you are somebody that is bringing in people, then they can give you up to 10 times what you've saved. Why? Let's say you were introducing people and you keep getting certain percentage, right? I know once you introduce somebody, so long that person keeps paying his monthly contribution, if the person pays for 100 months, you will get paid for the next 100 months too, certain percentage, maybe 2%, right? So imagine getting somebody to contribute 50,000 every month, and the person is going to contribute for the next 100 months, where you have 2% of 50,000 for the next 100 months. Now, at a particular point in time, the money you are getting as commissions may sum up to be like 100K, right? So if you are coming to take a loan, they will look at this 100K and give you a loan based on this 100K. So because this 100K is like your monthly income that comes like salary. So you'll be given a loan against your salary. In that case, you can get up to 10 times whatever you have saved if this money can cover for it. So what will the organization do? When you take a loan, at the end of every month, before paying you this 100K, which is commission based on the number of people contributing, they will remove the repayment for that month and give you back the balance. So the loan cannot go bad. The loan will only go bad if everybody you brought stop contributing in 1 month. That's the only way to go, and it's going to be very difficult. You brought in 5 people who brought in 5 people, who brought in 5 people. You can tell your own 5 people to stop. What about these other guys under, right? Again, like I said, I'm going to do a webinar on this maybe on Wednesday to fully explain it, and I want you guys to attend, right? What you don't know is bigger than you. The guys you see making it out there are not. Listen to any Forex mentor that will tell you the truth. They don't do only Forex. They do some other things. Why is ICT Michael still collecting money from teaching? He gives good content. The money from teaching will just be additional. Steve Moreau does the same thing. Adam Koo does the same thing. Reina does the same thing. Everybody I know does the same thing. You have to find multiple streams of income. Multiple streams of income. You won't say because I'm a good trader, then blah, blah, blah. Can we contribute and earn in foreign currency? Yes, you can. I think I'll explain that on Wednesday. I think you can contribute in USDT and you earn in USDT, basically. All right, so let's move on. That is one that I'm involved in, and it's a year today. That company is a year today, and I've been earning for the past 12 months, ladies and gentlemen. I was thinking I'll be able to log in so that I can see my back office and how much I've earned. I've earned several times what I have contributed by telling people, like I'm telling you now. I know some of you want to join. Of course, if you want to join, you ask me for the link. Should I use my link? We'll form a community together and push it. If you're outside the country, you can also do the same. Let's get this to as many countries as possible. The second one I'm involved in is a recent one, and it's called Hyper Fund, right? So they have a due diligence risk. So here's the due diligence checklist: proof of association with the Australian government, company profiles, and blah, blah, blah. Prove that the blockchain global incubated a multi-billion-dollar blockchain project. Academic publications providing high-level partnership with Coinstar Capital. Coinstar Capital is another crypto organization. Proof of collaboration with the Southwest China government and Coinstar massive 300 million blockchain fund, and proof of partnership with Hcash Foundation and Coinstar Capital. So all these are due diligence. You want to know much about the company. How do they have crypto? Is not what will I call it now? It's not what is that word? I won't say it's not legal. It's not, you know, when you're dealing with fiat currency, you can say that it is regulated. Yeah, that's the word. It's regulated. Crypto is not regulated, but they are still looking at regulation. Several countries are still looking at how to regulate, right? So you need to look at, okay, if you want to look at a crypto firm, I want to check how genuine they are. You look at how they relate with other genuine crypto firms and how they relate with governments, right? Because government will eventually be the one to provide regulation, right? And this is what the company is all about. It is a blockchain company. The owners are one of the strong billionaires in the crypto industry, and they are trying to create a community of 50 million people. In that community, they fund startup projects. Like the owners are angel investors in about 20 coins in the top 100 coins in CoinMarketCap. So they are made already by just, so let's say Solana, when Solana came, and the owners of Solana felt, okay, we have a good project, you bring it to them. They have something like a venture lab where you can come to them, you pitch your business. If they like it, they will fund you and own certain percentage of your crypto tokens. Now, as the token gets to the market and continues to grow, they simply make money. They simply make money, right? The owner of Ethereum became the first crypto billionaire, right? And that's just how it is. So they basically, I don't want to take time through this, but let's look at who is behind it. There are 4 companies that are working, which is supported with and are supported by Fortune 500 companies and governments around the world, and have invested and incubated some of the most successful blockchain companies in the entire world, owning more than 40 world-class crypto exchanges. and are developing world-class technology, right? So this, you've heard Coinstar, you've heard Blockchain Global, you of course, you know Binance, you know Tron and the likes. And these are things they have equity portfolio in over $10 billion, right? So I'll drop this later on for you guys to read. I don't want to bore you with that, but I just want to get to see some of the due diligence I did. The two owners, one of them is known as Sam Lee. If you go to some of these, Sam Lee is like if you're in Nigeria and they are talking about talking about stocks and economy, that they will invite Rilwani, right? So Sam Lee is like one of those guys they invite. You see him on Sky News, you see him on CNN, you know. That's he there. Microsoft interviews Sam Lee on blog. So he's like this guy knows so much. Any news outlet that want to talk with somebody who knows, Sam Lee is the guy they call, right? Now, the CEO of the company is Ryan Zhu. You can go Google him up, right? Ryan Zhu was one of the guys that kept Bitcoin afloat, right? In early parts of Bitcoin, when it had one of the major dips, miners were closing down. He had some money then, and he bought some mining firms and kept Bitcoin afloat for over 3 years during that time. Then Bitcoin used to have cycle 3 years in, 3 years out, like that. He kept them afloat, right? So he's also the founder of Coinstar Capital, right? That is, he owns 3.9% of Binance. That Rang Zhu owns 3.9% of Binance. That is CZ, the owner of Binance there, and this Rang Zhu. This Rang Zhu with the former US president and Donald Trump, the market maker himself, and this Rang Zhu being interviewed by CCTV, of course, China stuff, right? So you could go do them. I did some due diligence, and I feel it's a place I can risk some funds. So they have some MLM parts where you can earn money as you introduce people, and as they try to grow a community. And once in a while, when they have new projects they want to invest in, they will inform their community so you can buy it while it is still very cheap and earn the money as it grows. To be able to join them, you need to pay for membership, and I think it's 300, 500, 1,000, and then 10,000, right? So I went for the one for 1,000. Now, so if you invest 1,000, you'll be paid 0.5% every day for the next 1.5 years. So at the end of 1.5 years, my 1,000 would have turned to 3,000. So I just looked at it. Does it tally with my 79% in a year? Yes, it does. I'll be earning 200% in 18 months, right? It tallies with my 79% in a year. I can invest just $1,000 and see how it goes. And then another thing is that you can compound. So every profit I make, I compound it. Every profit, once you make $50, you can compound the $50. They have their own coin. They have their own coin, and they have their own exchange, right? So they have their own coin and they have their own content. The name of their coin, which you'll be paid in, is called molecular formula. So molecular future, rather. I don't know, molecular formula, chemistry. It's called molecular future. So when you are paid in molecular future, you have an option. You can convert it to USDT or any stable coin, or you can decide to hold molecular future on its own, and as it appreciates, you are making money from them, and you're also making money from the appreciation of molecular future. It's on CoinMarketCap, it's ranked 394, and it's not even a decimal coin. It's above. It was a decimal coin some months back. Just some months back, it was, let me go to 3 months so you see what I'm saying. Just some months back, it was 0 point something, right? So imagine if you bought and you held, you would have made double. So as they are paying you molecular future, you could withdraw it in USDT, or you could leave it in molecular future, and as molecular future dips and rises, you make money. You make money off it, right? So molecular future is traded has some markets. Who is an exchange that is owned by the owners of Hyper. They own an exchange called Who, just like Binance, right? So this is also an exchange. Who is an exchange, and this is the 24-hour volume on Who, right? So when you see that these people know much about cryptocurrency. If they want it to die, they know how to cheat us and it will die, and we can't tell them anything. If they want it to grow, then they will allow it to grow. Chemical engineering. Oh, sorry, molecular formula is always in my vocabulary somewhere there. So here we have who. When I look at the owners, I know some fear. I mean, they can just wake up tomorrow and do something, and we can't catch them, But if they want it to work, they can make it work. These guys know how to make money. Rangzhu is a multi-billionaire in cryptocurrency, right? He's a multi-billionaire in cryptocurrency. He owns large share in Tron and many other crypto assets you can see on CoinMarketCap. Why? Because he funded them. It's like you coming to SimplyPips and you say, look, I have a business. I'll say, okay, take, but you give us 30%, 20%. If that business hits 1 billion, we own 30% of 1 billion. But you go do all the dirty work. But we own it. We are board members. We'll come and discuss, right? To own 3.9% of Binance is like the New York Stock Exchange for cryptocurrency. Binance is like the New York Stock Exchange for cryptocurrency, right? So again, I'm not selling this to you. I'm just trying to let you know that you can, in the bid to make your 79%, you don't just sit down in one place, right? You get active. You do something about your life, right? You don't accept everything like you. You don't become let me go back to engineering. You don't become a thermometer. When if the environment is cold, you are cold. The environment is hot, you are hot. You become a thermostat. You determine the temperature you want it to be. You determine the temperature, right? The last thing I'm going to explain here, and then we'll call it a wrap, is online skill, right? You need to grab an online skill. You need to grab an online related skill, ladies and gentlemen, right? One thing that is reigning now is coding. Almost every billionaire, what's his name? Tesla guy. What's that his name again? Somebody remind me. What's that name?
Elon Musk.
Elon Musk learned how to code, right? Microsoft learned how to code. The owner of Facebook learned how to code. Our own in-house prof learned how to code. Even me, I don't know much about coding, but I can do 1 + 1 and ABCD inside coding. It's part of it, right? Learn it. Learn online marketing. Learn how to do online marketing. There's one thing they call Fiverr. I have a family friend, he survives on Fiverr. He makes about $200, sometimes $1,000, $500 on Fiverr. He's earning in dollars. If dollar is 560 today, he will earn in dollars. Some people here have been earning the same salary for the last 3 months, for the last 3 years, and the price of yam has tripled. Do Fiverr. Get an online skill. Right? Let's wrap this up all. You want to better your financial future. You have to look at people who have done it. What are they doing? And part of what I'm doing is what I'm telling you right now. I know if it was Prof that took this class, you perhaps would have gotten more value, right? But here it is. FX. Cool way. Why? Prop firms. If you are trading your own money, it's not cool. If you are going to trade your own money, crypto it is. Go for crypto, right? Focus on only one coin, only one, Ethereum or ADA or Solana or BNB, only one. Sit down on it. Once your indicator say buy on 30 minutes, buy. If it says sell, you lose some, you win some, you make more money. If you want to make it faster, FX prop firm. As you're making your money in prop firm, be investing it in crypto, stocks, binary. Binary, for instance, I only come back to, except for Fridays or days where the market is dull, I only come to my binary accounts from 4 p.m. or 11 o'clock after London kill zone. You can come to your binary, try and see if you can do something on it. Then 4 o'clock, between 4 and 5, as you are watching your trades close into New York, you come back and do whatever you do in binary. Yesterday, I made 10% in binary. You could do 3%, you could do 2%, you could do 1%, you could have a loss. But at the end of the month, if you have a strategy, you would have made money. At least 15%. You can make in binary, right? But which money are you going to put in binary? Perhaps money you've generated from trading a prop firm or trading crypto. Then you put that money in more long-term assets like stocks, right? Again, profs have more competence in this area than I do. Hopefully he agrees to take the class, but again, like I said, you got to pay. So prop firm, we have given you a solution by saying come to the fostering program, right? Let's foster your mind to trade for prop firm. Crypto, I'm going to do another class for crypto. Maybe we'll mix it crypto and stocks. Stocks, we're going to do a class soon. Again, it won't be free, you have to pay for it. Binary, should I do a class? Binary, we're going to start with the class for the guys in the fostering program. If you attended if you've ever attended a fostering program, I'll do it for you for free. Then those will be coming from outside, you have to pay something very small. MLM, I've told you the two I do, Rage Vision and Hyperfund. I will do another webinar Wednesday or Thursday, and I'll narrow down on Rage Vision and Hyperfund so you could see how you could join. Online skill, go look for one. There are many online. There are many. Google digital skills. You guys must have been seeing the advert. Google digital skills, Google digital skills. Go there. They'll tell you, they'll teach you for free online marketing. If you now want to get certificate, you pay for a token and they assess you and get a certificate. Google digital skills. And let me just Google it out so you see. Just type Google digital skills. Google digital skills. Right? If you see them, they do a lot of adverts. Right? Google digital skills. You see them. Right? It's free. It's free. You go through these classes for free. There are many places. Choose the skill you want. You choose the skill you want. They'll take you through it. They'll track your process and you receive a certificate that can help you boost your something. There are many crypto groups that have Telegram groups, and they're just looking for somebody to help them manage a Telegram group. AM Crypto plays an advert on Wednesday. He has a YouTube channel that is growing. He needs an assistant that will just help him monitor his YouTube channel, help him edit some videos. He's going to pay them in cryptocurrency. And the guy is a millionaire in cryptocurrency. He's from to know it. Right? There are opportunities out there. Right? There are opportunities out there. So I'll stop here and quickly go through the comments while I stop the recording. And hopefully